I usually don't discuss the question, why do I need an AR-15? I know that the Founding Fathers set the basis for that right as one that is God-given and beyond their authority to regulate. That pillar of law and reason has been lost for our society thanks to incremental erosion by elected officials over the past century. You might say that we have become accustomed to states and the federal government taking the hammer and chisel to that pillar. The mass media, news sources, actors, and other high spotlight figures seem almost unified in using their positions or fame to spread that opinion that one, the Second Amendment is either outdated or doesn't apply to we the people, two, that certain weapons, insert the misused terminology here, are too dangerous for citizens, and or three, that security is the role of the government. This is easy to preach when they live lavish lifestyles in high security surroundings, mostly not afforded we the people. Regardless of the attack, and if it comes from the media or our elected officials, the overarching theme of the anti-gun movement is that Americans simply do not need these type of weapons. They say high-capacity semi-automatic rifles are not used for hunting or sporting purposes, just for killing humans. To them, I say they can be used on all counts. We need to be clear that the Second Amendment was added to the Constitution as an assurance that Americans will never lack the weaponry to fight against their own government, if that government becomes tyrannical. In the late 1780s, our infant Union of States had just fought a long and bloody war against King George III's tyrannical government. In a concerted effort to garner support for the formation of a central government, the individual states required that the language of the Second Amendment be included in the Constitution, or they would not ratify the Constitution. This was a make-or-break deal. The citizens of the day needed to arm themselves against tyrants with the very same weaponry used by those tyrants. The domineering English rule led to the Revolutionary War to begin with. There was a strong consensus that these men representing these states, who had fought off this oppressively controlling government, would never allow a central government the power nor authority to control nor enslave them ever again. They wanted the ability to revolt and take down this government should history ever repeat itself. The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson. Yes, the original primary purpose of the Second Amendment was to ensure that American citizens always had the ability to overthrow the existing government. So, on that premise, they wanted to make it clear that the government had no authority regulating the people when it came to them arming themselves. Today, our military and law enforcement agencies employ high-capacity semi-automatic handguns and AR-15 style rifles, although theirs are mostly capable of automatic fire. These semi-automatic weapons are being targeted yet once again for a ban, this time around with a vengeance, and many states are looking to expand laws regulating or outlawing them, or at least parts of them. Modern semi-automatic weaponry is similar enough for the arming of the militia, we the people. According to the Heller case, every able-bodied American is still part of that said militia. It is our constitutional duty to retain the same weaponry as our military and police to even the playing field, so that in the event of an attempt to enslave the American people, we can resist equally. So they say tyranny is a thing, not a thing of present day, it's just in the past. Those who ignore history are likely to repeat the mistakes of the past. It's an illogical argument that current-day humans do not have the ability to enslave, torture, or murder large groups of other humans. Let's take a look at a bit of our own history with the Indian Removal Act of 1830, which forcibly moved Native American Indians from their eastern homelands and relocated them to the lands west of the Mississippi. There was plenty of bloodshed during that government action. We can even stay within a more modern history frame and include Hitler and Nazi Germany committing genocide against German and Polish Jews in the Holocaust and killing over 11 million men, women, and children in the early 1900s. Or just look at the 2 million Cambodians that were exterminated when the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia in the 70s. And this still goes on today in the Middle East, Africa, and Eastern Europe. So why do I need my AR-15? I need it to protect myself, my family, my home against threats and invasions. I need it because one day history might repeat itself, and I need to take up my arms with my brothers and sisters. I need it because it is my constitutional duty as a well-regulated, read that as mentally prepared, member of the militia, read that as able-bodied citizen. But I mostly need it because that right is inherent, and allowing the government to take away that right is just wrong. Thanks for listening.
3, 2, 1.